Hey there, amazing Ascension pioneers. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another episode of me speaking to all of you. We are moving from August to September, which is happening this week. And there's a blue full moon that happens only once, I don't know how many times, but there isn't supposed to be a new one until 2015, I think. So it's a special period of something coming to an end, because we all know the full moons represent kind of like an ending of something, releasing of something. And basically it's not just about the monthly cycle. I feel we're moving a new season of the year, which is the harvest season, the season of something new. And a lot of the things in our lives seem to be coming to an end. We're coming to an end the whole year, and we've been pushed, through divine triggers to enter more and more deeply within. And this is why I wrote this short paragraph on Facebook on my page today, and I would like to read it out loud for those of you who do not follow me there. I said, the summer is slowly coming to an end, and we are all entering a new cycle, that of the fall, which is a time of the harvest season when we are reaping what we have sown. We are merely a few months away from our planet entering the galactic equator. This is when we move into a next phase on a planetary level, and that is why we also feel these changes on a very personal level. There are major changes in our galaxy that are coming from the galactic center, and that is why there are also shifts in our own lives, as we are shifting from mental to feeling and residing in the heart space, that of our being. Everything in our life is now aligning to this frequency of the new. So in these times of quiet introspection, when the energies are more peaceful, which is now at the end of August, do you already feel new guidance coming in? Are you already receiving new ideas about your divine purpose? Are you willing to truly go out of your comfort zone and start something new? I feel this is exactly what we are all in for. May you utterly enjoy discovering yourself and sharing your light in new ways. And this is what this video is about. It's about questioning yourself, whether you perceive this, because there are two timelines happening right now, whether you perceive this ending of something as really an ending, or do you see it as a beginning? Do you see a new birthing? Are you in flow? That is the title of my video. The thing is, I've thought, and many of us probably thought, that August is going to be a month of more flow after the intense months of June and July. And I've seen some of the videos that predict things, divine guidance, weekly messages that speak about some of us, a lot of us, being in that zone of more difficulties for a period of 3 years or 3 months. There was a number of 3 or 33, and I feel the same way because it was like that for me this summer. And a lot of the people experienced the same. So some of my messages were about this recently, ever since I came back from my retreat, from my holiday at the seaside. And I feel that so many of us have been feeling introspecting and reflecting on this. And a lot of you might have felt that this feeling that something is coming to an end is kind of like causing this questioning within you, whether you're not on the right path, whether what is this, and a lot of the friends I have, a lot of the people I know spoke about the same. And I wanted to share a video about the financial flow before, but I was probably guided to see something else ever since I came back from my holiday. I saw a few videos and I felt, again, that was great divine confirmation about what I was already feeling myself. And this is what I would like to ponder on right now. It's something that are these signs that show us that it's not that we're not on the right path, but something is shifting. Something is shifting in the way we are of service. And I've been speaking about this while I was reading my automatic writing in my past 2 videos. And there's something that I was feeling myself. The whole year I felt we're kind of preparing for something, but a lot of the people think it's about something external, some event, something cataclysmic, something like a major change that is going to happen from the external world. Well, basically, it's the exact opposite. The change, the shift was preparing and still is preparing. It's like it's fermenting inside of all of us, and it's preparing for something new. That's why we needed a period of total hermit phase when we were dealing more with our spiritual side. Everything is spiritual. Everything is in spirit. Everything is spirit in essence. But the thing is, we needed this period to do our inner work, inner cleansing, emotional clearing, all of these things. For instance, I have this favorite birds here that fly over my meadows. And last year, ever in my life, I saw their feathers. When I started doing Ascension Pioneers last year in August, I started seeing these birds more, and I felt them as my animal guides, and I really connected with them. And the thing is, this year, I keep finding, I gotta show you this, I keep finding their feathers for the first time in my life, and I have gathered them so many. See, these birds are awesome, and I find everything. This is the small one I found yesterday, the last one I found, and when I was walking with my friend, and this is actually the biggest one I saw when I went, to pee pee in the woods, and I was really randomly surprised by this feather. And I didn't even count them. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God, 9 is the number of completion. It's a cycle of spiritual completion. So this is another confirmation. We are completing a cycle. We are all completing a cycle, that something that is just over. And a lot of us have been pondering about the new things. For instance, I've been telling my beloved and my mom that what I do right now, I don't really imagine myself doing this forever and this way and only this way. It's not that I'm going to stop doing it, but I felt I need more connection with the people. I need more interface, in real, real and raw, and really talking to people, building a strong foundation of like minds, of like resonance here also where I live, not just online, all over the world, which is great. I'm loving it. But I just pictured myself doing something else as well. And I kept saying, I have something else that's waiting for me, which is true. But whenever we have these things, there are visions, there are inner knowings, but we have to walk certain steps before that, because in the spiritual evolution of our soul, there is no skipping steps. And in the divine timing, because there is no time, there's divine timing, there is no skipping steps. Every process needs every phase of that process to be fulfilled before another phase is fulfilled, and so on. And it's the same with the cycles of time. We are time. The time is not something linear and something material, but it's something that exists within us. It's a part of our consciousness which creates on this physical dense level. But what is happening is we felt these things before. And right now, we are in the period where we're after, post clearing, we're still doing the clearing. We're still all works in progress, so to say. We're also walking towards greater wholeness that we are in our totality, in our full state of walking the middle path of our human part and our divine part, and living the purpose, which is also the middle path, because we are a purpose and the mission is who we are, not what we do. It's also, we are merging our physical material realm lives with the spiritual aspects of us, and that's how everything, of course, is a spiritual nature. But now everything is becoming more physical, but at the same time the feeling is more and more divine. What does that mean? I'll explain this now. I've just recently seen a video from this woman who was speaking about this, and I was like, I can't believe this, because I've been feeling this myself. So I guess I was not guided. I didn't have the time to make this video prior to seeing that video, because everything, always clicks in perfect resonance and divine timing. So she was speaking about these timelines. Like, there are 2 timelines. Of course, there are more, but 2 major timelines. And there are people who are still deciding, where to go. And that a lot of us, she also mentioned a lot of the old teachers, people who are older, not my generation, but older generation, who was the first wavers, so to say. They were paving the way for all of this, doing this energetic way, really opening the gates to all that is unfolding right now, and immense gratitude to everyone who came here to serve, because we're all servers of the divine, all divine conduits. And the thing is, she said that basically before we were maybe more in the spiritual realms. A lot of the people were dealing only with that, but now a lot of us is being called on a battlefield, so to say, because we need to be really here walking the physical path and sharing our lives in the physical realm, because this is where we are. This is where we reside. Like I said in my previous video, we're not ascended masters, because ascended masters live in the ascended realm. We are masters of ascension. That is what we are becoming, and that is what we're reaching through resurrecting first, and dying later, like Jesus said. So the thing is, we are reaching that state. And you reach that state while fully embodying it. So that is why embodiment means you get to share this, you get to be your purpose in the physical. Because other entities who are in spirit, not here incarnated, are doing that from the spiritual realm. That is why we're needed here. In the most physical terms, we are needed where we are needed. And this is where most people reside, in the material. So for instance, for example, not everyone's path is going to be the same, but the example of that woman was, she said, now, first time after so many years, again, I feel like I have a job or something like that. I don't follow her channel. I just was guided to see that video or two of them, and I was really impressed because I felt the same things. There was always confirmation coming anyway. And it was all about, we are needed. She said we're kind of like the bridgers, to help to change these timelines. And she mentioned that we change timelines through emotion, which is true. Emotion is energy in motion. So when we change through feeling, which is opening the heart center, that is what we were doing the entire year and before, while preparing for 2012. And now we're preparing for beyond 2012 and beyond. Many books, I think, are called that way. We're preparing for beyond. We're now in that stage because we already are the 2012. We are actually the post clearing, the post healing, the walking towards the wholeness, like I say, so many of us, because like frontiers, someone needs to pave the way. Someone needs to be the bridger, to fill in the gap. The bridge that connects the two landscapes, that connects the two timelines in this example. So for a lot of the people who have been releasing the old, who have been in the self, who have been alone a lot, who have been in their hermit stage, are now going to really be more there for people physically and do something else that is like a job, but it's not going to be like an employment, not like a job, but it's like a part of your life. Like I wrote in my last article, it's not that your purpose is something, connected with your job. That's a three-dimensional thinking. It's more like you live that way, and while you live a certain way, what you do is so deeply rooted. It's such a part of you. It's your essence, but you also do something, and you also are, it's not a business. It's not an employment, like I say. It's something that is so natural to you, like breathing. So when you share that, when you just live your life, that is how you're of service, and that is what we're becoming right now, but in the physical, in this body. The woman also mentioned, I think it was not in the same video, but she was speaking about the financial flow and about the signs that something is dying and what is needed to be released and how you recognize this. We are all of service, and when you are of service, when you're offering yourself as a divine conduit of light, you are always supported by the divine. You're always within the divine truth, and that essence supports you in every part. And whatever you need, not what you desire or want from the ego, which is fine. It's not a part of you that is supposed to be denied. But what is coming from the divine, what you need for your purpose, what you need for your mission to be really lived as it's for the highest, greatest good, you will get all the resources, all the financial means and everything, and the people who will support you, and just everything. But when you start noticing the decrease of that, like coming to an end of that, which is what a lot of us have been going through this year. It's like, for me, I'll give you my example. I was always supported by the divine. I always had these reserves, not a lot of money, but what I needed. It was not to go on a shopping spree or to really go travel all around the world, no way, but to live a modest life. And I was not guided to travel anyway because I felt I have a purpose here. I still feel that way. I still feel I'm here to ground the energies and to assist people to be that bridger here and under my mountains. This is what I really feel for myself. And you see, I got what I needed. But right now, it's like all these reserves, everything that was always really connected in my life, everything really came together at the perfect time is now coming to an end. It's like I'm coming to this period of maturity when I start something new and very physical, but also very spiritual. It's the same, you see, because you're merging spirit and matter, you are anchoring spirit in your body, and at the end, you're really making it very physical when it's flowing through your most dense parts and when you're embodying it to the fullest potential. So the thing is, you feel these kind of things, and we're guided. And we've been dealing with a lot of the fear losses, facing the fear in bullseye and really greeting it and saying goodbye to it through love and compassion. And through that, we've lost that fear for money, for everything. We just know that we're going to be supported, and we're going to get that click, which is divine guidance in our head for what to do next, which is going to be the source of our support. Or sometimes it might even come through other people. For a lot of people, I'm the teacher. I've always felt myself as a teacher. I don't like that word, but as a guide. And I always felt I'm going to be supported while I'm going to be doing this work. It's not just what I earn from it, because I don't I don't charge money for it. I just have a donation page for everyone who, is guided to assist me in that way so I can really live my life, and to be able to do this. And it also sometimes it comes from other people. For me, it was, for instance, from my mom or from someone else, which is not to be judged. You see, the thing is, source is not a limited thing. It's not like, your boss is your provider. No, the source is our provider. It doesn't matter where it comes from. But when that flow, you feel that it's coming to an end, it means something is coming to an end and something new is being birthed. So you see 9 feathers, that means a completion stage, a completion phase. So it depends on you which timeline you choose. Do you choose a timeline when you think, oh, I'm no longer connected? Oh, I've lost everything. I've lost everything. I don't know what to do with myself. I guess I don't have a purpose here. I probably just gotta leave the planet. Maybe you will. I don't know. I don't know the truth of every soul here on earth. You do. Or maybe you can choose the other timeline, which is, wow, something is coming to an end. I feel this. I've always felt that something's going to change here on earth, that we're going to move into another frequency. Something's going to change. I did not know why. I did not know how. But I've always felt that some time is going to come when I'm going to be called to do something of great importance. And I'm still preparing for that. But I still feel that it's in the beginning stage. So these are 2 timelines that are most crucial and most obvious that you can get to choose. And those who choose the second one, which is seeing an ending as actually a new beginning. Because, for instance, I had this dream that my car died. Like the whole motor of the car went off and I just needed a place where I will stop it. I just was searching for the perfect place to stop the car so it dies there. Literally the death, I dreamt about the death of my car. And the car is a vehicle and it presents your vehicle. And my color is the color of my car is red, and red represents physicality and matter, the first root chakra. So I guess it represented a death of something on the physical level. And I spoke to my beloved and I said, what does that mean? What does that mean? Is that a bad sign? And he said, well, what does death of something represent? And I said, well, a new birth. And he said, exactly. After every death, there's a new birth. And I've been speaking about this the whole year, cycles of birth and rebirth. I've been talking about this. And now it's like your perception, what is it? Is it an ending or a beginning? So all those who choose the beginning are here to be the models, the frontiers, and the bridgers for those who still did not choose between the 2 timelines, who are still really in deep challenges, who are still suffering, who are still in denial of the shadow aspect, which needs to be embraced when you're activating and really opening your heart center, which will cause you to live from the heart, which means you will always be guided, supported at the right place at the right time, everything. That is your flow. Your flow comes through your heart connection with the source. Because a lot of the people say it's a mental universe, it's all about the mind, and everything is about the great divine logic, which is true, but the source is also, the source is polarized. It's not just masculine, it's also feminine, because it's all that is, and that feminine part is also, it's also love. We're not just the great mind, we're also the great love, divine love, which is also something that I keep speaking about. For me, I'll give you another example. A lot of people I talk to, they don't have any money because they've dedicated their whole time and effort to what they do spiritually and to develop themselves, to do their clearing. And of course, a lot of energy goes there. And whenever energy goes, it just, thought goes, energy flows, and you're there. You really make an intent and the whole energy goes there. So you don't have a lot for something else, which is how the principles of creation work. So now a lot of this is coming to an end, and a lot of people are asking themselves, where's my income supposed to come? I'm really modest, but still I need to provide for myself, because we're still not living the lives of each person doing what they're supposed to do and not needing money, just taking, this person produces food, I'm going to take food, I'm going to, provide childcare, I'm going to provide something for healing, I'm going to be a teacher, which is something I was reading in Dolores Cannon's book about Keepers of the Garden, when the person is who is under the hypnosis is talking about this, how this works on another planet. We're still not there. But while we're moving towards there, we can really still work and exchange between ourselves in the highest, most aspects that we can right here now in this vibration. And through that, we get to open the gates for the new and even greater and even higher and even more golden. So my example, for instance, about the financial things is my car. All the time I have an old car. but I really liked it, and it, you know, drove me to my mountains, and that's all I needed. And of course, the gas is so expensive that I don't know how the money's gonna come now, but as you know, it comes when you need it, it comes. And you find new ways, new methods, as long as you're supported for the purpose. So anyway, this car has always served me well, but this year everything started to go wrong with the car, and only this year I had a feeling that it's ending. You know how my New Year's Eve began? It began by here a woman crashing in my car, and I needed to repair it. And after that, so many things went bad, and now I went to the seaside. And 3 days I wasn't even able to come to the island where I'm supposed to stay because the car broke down. And of course, it was so divinely guided because it nearly broke down directly in front of the repair station with the mechanics, you know. So it was so guided. It was a holiday. It was Mary's Assumption Day, and there was no one there but the person who called the mechanic, and everything was amazing. Then we got the part that was cheaper here from my mechanic, and my mom had to come to the seaside to bring that part so we could go through it cheaper because I felt so sad. Why would I invest in the car if already don't have the money that I need for my other things? If the car is no longer going to stay with me and it's an old car, why do you put new parts in it? So everything was funny, and after, you know, that I had a dream about my car dying and so many things, but I've been feeling that this car is not going to stay with me for the entire year. So there was a lot of kind of like grief coming out of me, and, you know, you know, where did I get this money? It was so expensive, you know, the first time that that mechanic put out a bill. And I really felt that this was my challenge to just fully surrender. And like I've been talking with my friend, she said, you really enlighten yourself the most when you're just ready to lose everything. When you can surrender everything. You just say, you know, all that is, what else can I release? What else? You know, all I have is you, all I have is source, all I have is me, my own presence. And that is what we've been going through. So many of us, we've been going through this the entire summer, the entire year, because when I look back, I was talking with my beloved and I said, you know what, the entire year, my 1st of January began in a hype. And even before, you know, on the 31st of December, it began like that woman bumping into my car just before I went to Austria with my mom. And things were so intense. They were speeding up and the intense quickening. And now, you know, so much clearing done, which is what I've been doing the entire summer with my beloved. We were doing a lot of that clearing, a lot of growing in love, bond, you know, strengthening the bond and growing in that divine love that we are. So much of that, but it is needed. Sometimes it's like, it's not my perfect summer. Oh, it's not that perfect outcome that I'd expected, but it's what is needed for you, because you need to be that clear vessel, that beautiful void of nothingness and everything at the same time. So you can be the bridger, the frontier, the ascension pioneer, and all that you are, all of your light in your best form and shape. That you can model the physical life that is, you know, the highest light, but still material, still a body. We're not ascended masters, but we can live in that ascended, resurrected state here in the material realm. And that is our blessing, and that is our gift, to be able to exist in that state and still have a body. Although it's shifting into the lighter frequency, into less dense matter, into crystalline form. And how do we shift into crystalline form? Is through compassion. That is like a secret formula, is divine loving and passion. It's the highest vibration. And through that compassion, we are actually holding the vibrations of guilt, shame, blame, and all of that, which is of the lowest, which is not of the self, which is not of the truth, which is something that was created for us to remember and relearn about our truth, our true essence, and about our secret paradise, which we all are. So this is something that I wanted to talk to you about today. I know it's a long video, but I think it's a really important topic, and really go deep within. There's still a lot of time is invested right now in this. I think it's going to continue in September. A lot of the major decisions will be coming up, to be faced with, to be dealt with, to be looked into. A lot of new things, maybe new opportunities, but first we really need to go deep within and see what do we truly want right now and how we are guided to serve, because we're moving into new ways, and everything is changing. And that is why our physicality, our physical lives are modeling that as well. They're following that change in spirit and frequency. So it's a planetary change, like I said, because we're living on this planet, we're all children of it. It's also our personal change, and it's a galactic change, and it's a universal change, and it's a change on all levels, because all levels are one. We have forgotten. We are not separate. You know, when I see you, a certain person, you are just one aspect of me, and you're living something that I cannot because I chose something else. And when I see you, I see, wow, this is me, the other me, just doing something else and choosing a different path and learning different lessons, but also the same in essence. And this is who we are, and this is what we came here to remember, and to be the bridge for others who also wish to remember. So I hope you feel uplifted by all of this. Have beautiful end of August and transition into September. Remember the harvest season. It's a time of Virgo right now, which is what I am. My birthday is on 15th, and I have a special surprise for all of you, and it's going to probably come in my next video. There is an announcement I need to make because I have a feeling I'm guided to do something here in Slovenia for all those who live here, who follow me from Slovenia. And we'll be able to meet Ascension Pioneers in live, in real, in beautiful nature, in vortex destination here, but more in my next video. So stay tuned, stay connected, and much love to all. Bye bye.